Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. It's cricket season again. It's very busy, and this time international cricket is taking over the scene. In this particular episode, we'll be discussing India versus South Africa, but we're closely following the West Indies versus Pakistan series. Pakistan won that. Khushdil Shah hitting three sixes. Sri Lanka versus Australia. The second T20 today was very close as well, with Sri Lanka coming back, having Australia 80 for 7, 90 for 7, but Wade coming and smashing it. And then we had the Lancashire versus Yorkshire game, which is one of the best games I've seen in a while. Lancashire, winning by 4 runs. It was a high-scoring game. Always nice to watch cricket in England, even though it's on TV. But Don, today the focus will be India versus South Africa. This is your specialty, following the Indian team over the years, and it's a full strength South Africa versus a weakened India, injury-prone India, and some players resting India. So, your initial thoughts going into this series?
Yeah, I mean, already they started off with like some of the key players missing, and Bumrah, Virat and Rohit. These are almost mainstays in the T20 side. But I think the unfortunate thing will be also losing out to KL Rahul due to injury, and Kuldeep Yadav, who's also been injured. So it's already a very depleted side. That's four or five
That
very
really
good
made me
players.
sad, especially the Kuldeep one, because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
deserved a comeback right now.
Absolutely, he deserved a comeback. I think he would have easily made the squad as well, but made the 11 as well because of his current form. But I think it is what it is. They'll have to work with what they have, and I think that gives Akshar and Chahal an important role to play now with as the two spinners in their side, and Akshar more importantly just to get the balance of the side right. With Hardik coming in, but Hardik I believe has not played. It was not training today, so we don't know if he's going to be available because with Hardik it's just like a catch
Never know.
22. You
But I
never
saw him
really
score
know.
in the nets a couple of days ago, and he was clocking 140 plus.
140. Yeah,
So you don't know with this guy, man. He might play, he might not play, but he's vice captain now. So I think 99.9% he's going to play tomorrow.
yeah. He might have to get a little bit more responsibility because now in this current setup, I think he's up there with the senior pros. Even
But this
even
is
though
why I
he
don't
hasn't.
rate him as highly as Ben Stokes. This is the reason.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a discussion for another day. Mostly always has to bring in Ben Stokes when we talk about Hardik. But an interesting thing about we spoke about training. The fastest ball bowled by a human has been clocked by Umran Malik, who he bowled 163.7 kilometers an hour
In the nets.
in practice match, and that was just it was just reported up a couple hours ago. So I just read that statement. So
160. I think he
163.7
got pissed
is
off because Ferguson beat his fastest ball in the
in
finals.
the IPL. So more speed coming from Umran. I think that's always exciting, but I think he might not make the 11. I think that they'll go with a little bit more of a experienced team in Bhuvi, Harshal and Avesh. I think with Arshdeep and Umran probably coming in if needed on a need to basis. So. That's kind of how it is, and I think gives maybe like with KL Rahul injured, I think it gives Rituraj a chance to get into the squad and maybe stake a claim for a little before. But I think Ishan Kishan will obviously be the other opener, even though he's had a little bit poor form. I think they're giving him that little bit of a lengthy rope. This is going to be an important series for him because with Rohit and KL not in the 11, I think he'll probably get a fair few games, and if he can perform, then he kind of confirms his ticket to the World Cup. But if not, then that opens up another. The third opener slot opens up, and someone like a Rituraj, maybe like a uh, outside chance for like someone like a Sanju Samson, kind of just picks up that opportunity. And that's going to be critical for someone like Ishan to really get going. So this is a big chance for him. And I think the others, I think Shreyas Iyer, Deepak Huda, Rishabh Pant, these guys will probably be the middle. Obviously we are looking very excited for Dinesh Karthik, so let's see how that kind of plays out.
A lot of people are very excited for me. Like, honestly, you know how I look at it. I think he had a wonderful IPL and everything, but I think he's got enough chances for the Indian team. Very honestly with you. And when the time came, 2019 World Cup and stuff, he didn't step up. So if they're gonna take him and again he doesn't perform, for me, that's just like that's gonna be. It's nothing against him. I just feel that he's got chances. I'm somebody who looks at the T20 format and saying just go with that young team that Dhoni had in 2007. I know it's not possible this time because you're going to have Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Dinesh Karthik, and even Shami is plus 30 now, right? So you're
Yeah.
going to have that. But I'm just kind of guy that give youngsters chance. Go for broke. It's T20. Focus on the 50 over and then see. But again, you can't really complain with form, right? Then everyone's gonna. If you don't take Dinesh Karthik, everyone's gonna blame the captain, coach, and everything for not doing that. So it's a double-edged sword. But I'm not as think. But I think this is the perfect time to see, because you have, I think, 30 T20 international before the World Cup. India's playing a lot of T20s, so I think this is the perfect time. You have a 5-match series here, then you have a 5-match series in England, which will be even bigger test. And I think this is the perfect opportunity. So I'm not too. I'm excited to see him in this series, but like for the World Cup, this will tell us. This will give us a better understanding on how it's going to work. And let me just shift our focus a bit to South Africa. This is a full strength South African team now. And remember, this team was very unlucky not to make the semifinals. They were now no fault of their own. They only lost one game, and they still didn't make the semifinals. You have the combination of Nokia and Rabada, which is probably the best T20 fast bowling in the world right now, arguably. Quinton de Kock is there. You have Bavuma, Markram. You have rejuvenated David Miller. You have Van der Dusen, who was outstanding in the World Cup. This team is looking good, and the conditions will suit them, and they've also been acclimatized for the last 2 months.
Absolutely, I think 100%. I think South Africa is they had this a stint where they were not the best side in the world, but I think they've come back pretty well from that. They have, like you said, they have a good amount of players with Nokia, Rabada, Miller, Van der Dusen, just you name it. They have that kind of a player, that kind of. They have finishers, they have top order, they have fast bowlers. Tabre Shamsi has been very good with the ball as well. Keshav Maharaj has been good with the ball as well. In spin department also, they're not lacking. I mean, they might not be as good as India, but they're not lacking, but so to say. So they have a fair amount of experience along with a lot of youth, and I think that they are out there to put a point that they are not to be taken for granted. I think this will be a side that we saw in the previous World Cup as well. They gave a good standing of themselves. I think that they'll want to improve on that, and the only way they'll be able to do it is perform day in day out. So that's I think a fantastic side, and that's why I think that this is going to be a very well fought and not a more of a one-sided kind of a series. I think it'll be a well fought series with I think India nicking it 3-2.
I think I'm going South Africa 3-2. I just feel that India is missing some big players. But at the same time, this is the team I want to see, right? So I think it's going to be a good touch for the youngsters. And if they do win this India, it gives them even more of that, power that, listen, we can back our youngsters. If a Gaikwad and Nishan Kishan start smashing it, then why not, right? Give them a chance in the World Cup as well. I just feel the South African team, it's not about the Indian squad itself. I just feel the South African team is very good. But let's see what happens tomorrow. Your ideal Indian 11, and I'll go with the South African 11.
I think it's kind of picks itself. I think Rituraj and Ishan at 1 and 2. I am a personal fan of Deepak Huda over Shreyas Iyer. So
I knew you were going to say that. That's the only reason I asked you this question. This is the only reason. You can stop now if you want. That's all I wanted to hear.
I think Shreyas Iyer will not make my 11.
I've been reading all the previews. Everyone has Shreyas at number 3, but I know that our podcast is a bit different. So that's all I was waiting for.
I think Deepak Huda at 3. Pant at 4, Pandya at 5, Karthik at 6, Akshar at 7, Yuzi at 8, and then 9, 10, 11 will be Bhuvi, Harshal, and Avesh.
You're going stacked batting, and no thing. But I think.
Well, I think five bowlers and Hardik if needed for a couple overs. That's
it's really good. Harshal Patel can bat at number 9, right?
Yeah,
that's stacked. That's pretty good. I think. This is an ideal 11, not a predicted 11, because I think Shreyas Iyer is going to play.
Shreyas Iyer will most likely play over Huda for sure,
But let's see. But you could also do this, Don. You could always get Huda at 6, but then you have to drop Karthik.
No, I think Dinesh Karthik will definitely play. I think he might. He obviously won't wicket keep because I think Pant will wicket keep, but I think he will definitely play for sure.
Yeah,
I think even Rahul Dravid has already said that I think that he will be that finisher. His role is very clear. I think they have given him that kind of finisher role. So
and the crazy thing is, if Rahul played, there would have been 3 keepers, man. That would have been insane.
Yeah.
So for the South African 11, Quinton de Kock, Reece Hendricks, 1 down Bavuma, 2 down Markram, 3 down I'll go Van der Dusen, I think, and then 4 down David Miller, and then Pretorius, Rabada, Nokia. I think I'll go just for the left arm Jansen and then Tabre Shamsi. So that's my attack. They have, the likes of Tristan Stubbs, who I think he played in the Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
They have him, they have Lungi and Gedi as well. We've seen this guy over the years. So there's a lot of options that they have backup, but I think this is the attack that they will go with. Again, a lot of will rely on Shamsi because he's going to be against Pant, who will favor playing against a left arm, but it's going away from him. So that's going to be a good kind of contest that I'm looking at, Pant versus Shamsi.
Absolutely, I think that's a solid side. Like you said, they have batting up until seven with Pretorius. Even Ravada can knock it around a little bit. Marco Jansen can talk the ball a little bit. So they have batting about 8, 9, and then they have five good bowlers, and then they can always rely on Markram to give them an over or two if needed. If the assistance of spin is there, and I think that gives them that balance that they need as well. And it's a stacked batting lineup, goes all the way up to 9. So solid side. If Quinton can bring in the form that he had in the IPL, if he can give them the quick runs, this is going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, I think at Bruns at the top, and then the middle order, Markham, Van der Dusen and Miller. These guys will be that run machine thing, and also the run rate, because I think Bavuma at one down will probably rotate the strike. So they do have the players around him who can accelerate, and it'll be on there. And Reese Hendricks can also hit, so I think they
Yeah.
have the option sorted. Again, it's a relatively more inexperienced Indian attack. There's no. But then you have Bhuvi there as well, right? Bhuvi is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
play. So,
And Harshal has become an almost experienced pro now. So that's two good fast bowlers. Avesh has been bowling well for the past couple of years. And Yuzi will have a point to prove. He won that ticket to the World Cup as well. And then Akshar Patel probably won't make the World Cup 11, but I think he's been there and thereabout for a while. And he's been a very consistent bowler whenever he's given the chance. So, some solid bowling over there as well. So it's going to be a well-fought contest, I think.
Yep, your players to watch out for from each team.
For me, like I said, I think Hardik Pandya and Dinesh Karthik from the Indian side. I think both of them have, I guess, points to prove in very different kind of setups. Hardik Pandya has now been given the vice captaincy role, a little bit more responsibility. Dinesh Karthik probably his last big tournament, ICC tournament, in my opinion, because he is getting old. But I think somewhat rejuvenated and with a point to prove, and hopefully he can stick to the IPL performances that we saw and give some finishes for the Indian side as well. I think for South Africa, almost everyone is exciting, but I think David Miller again as the finishing aspect. He's been a
But he doesn't have Hardik Pandya leading him this time.
and he's going to be on the opposite almost side. So so it's going to be difficult. But I think David Miller, I think a lot of people have written him off. I think you, me included. I think we called it a shock that the Gujarat would play him as in the 11 and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think he's proved a lot of people wrong. So I think continuing that form will be critical for him. And we saw some good performances from Markram as well. And Van der Dusen, I think that middle order kind of, that middle 4, 5, and 6 is very important. Usually, I've kind of gone with 4, 5, and 6 for India and for South Africa. So that's just that middle order, because we've seen enough from the openers to know that's their style. But if a couple of early wickets or like 180 with 16 overs, how these guys can kind of play according to the conditions will be very important and the situation.
Don, before I give you my prediction, Ashish is in the house. He's saying KL Rahul, the curse. It is unfortunate, man. Even if he was captain and if India lost, everything would have been on him. But yeah, he is. He's having this bad luck kind of thing over the last 6-7 months. And also, I just wanted to give you a shout. Give Ashish a shout out. We had a game over here. We have our own team in Toronto, and he hit one of the best sixes I've seen, bro. I don't praise him too much in front of people, but wow. Our other teammate Pavit, he smashed 70 or 40 balls, and Ashish came, I think he hit 20 odd in 10 balls, and basically 50 was required of 4 overs, and they smashed it. They hit 4 sixes in 1 over.
This Toronto League is going somewhere else, man. Ashish scoring the centuries. Vinay a couple of days back with the 4 wickets and stuff like that. Yeah. Only Punter is not doing anything.
Punter is there chipping in as well. Yeah, man, I think Ashish think bread and butter, baby. This is confidence, man. This guy can play just for India just based on confidence. But yeah, bro, here the shot was over long on Virat Kohli. The one over long on sorry. The 1 over, the long gone, not mid wicket. So yeah, the Virat Kohli kind of thing.
Lovely flick.
And our other friend hit 3 sixes in a row as well. So it was a great game. We were chasing 160, but the required was 15-16 runs. So
wow, nice. Yeah. Good job, Ashish. Well done.
Sorry for the diverse thing, but for me, the players to watch out for from India, it will be, I think. I'll go with Gaikwad, man. There's so much talk about him over the last year and everything. Now let's see what happens. Can he translate that into international cricket? Can he show that consistency? Because there's been a lot of talk. Ishan Kishan as well.
We
Next one.
the problem is one correction. If KL Rahul was playing, we'd have four keepers because Ishan, Pant,
Oh yeah,
and
sorry.
Dinesh.
Sorry, Don, man. I
So
forgot, bro.
yes, it's
Yeah,
okay.
so
We
for
already have
yeah.
three keepers.
So yeah, I think Ishan Kishan Gaikwad, but I'm going Gaikwad because everyone's saying he should have played in that last World Cup, right?
Yeah.
So now let's see what he's got, right? I have nothing against him, but I just feel that the transition does take a bit of time, and this is going to be a very good attack. If he can perform in this series, then he's right up there. For
Yeah.
me, he can be your backup opener in the future. Maybe not this World Cup, but in the future. So he's one player to watch out from South Africa. Markram, bro, he's Sunriser. I don't know why you're going here, there, and Miller and all
I said
that.
Markram though.
No, you were giving other options first. No doubt, man. Aiden Markram, one of the best middle order batsmen ever right now, presently, because he plays for Sunrisers. That's the reason. But yeah, Ashish also saying he did hit a first ball six, and he's asking you to come and watch the Canadian Virat Kohli.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
He's Virat Kohli while batting. I'm Virat Kohli while fielding. He can vouch for that. Trust me.
Let's go.
But yeah, I want Pant to open, especially when you have DK and Pandya to finish. Your thoughts on that? That's what I should say.
I still think that Pant is pretty solid at number 4.
We opened
Because
one somewhere. He looked a bit awkward at that time.
yeah,
No?
I feel like if you give Pant too much to think about, that's when you confuse him. You give him like you should just let him do his natural thing. His natural game is 4-5 finishing kind of role.
The
You give
reason
him,
he's saying that is he wants to get rid of Ishan Kishan, Ashish. He's already saying out from World Cup because he doesn't like Mumbai Indians players. So now I
yeah, I
understand.
mean, Ishan, like I said already, earlier in the earlier part of the podcast was that Ishan Kishan is last chance for him. I think if he doesn't perform, he's already had a 4 season with Mumbai Indians. Last chance for him because you have the likes of Rituraj coming in, Rohit KL are your openers.
Abhishek Sharma in the wings.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
With all I'm hitting myself, man. Like, yeah.
But I think KL and Rohit are your openers. I think you can only go with one other batsman as a backup, and that's probably going to be Rituraj if Vish Kishan can. Because if the wicket keeping is not a problem, you have Pant, Dinesh Karthik, you have KL who can keep. So wicket keeping is not really a problem. So now I think it'll be between Rituraj and Ishan. Both will be against each other almost. So we'll see how it goes.
Also, I also feel that the England series coming up, the one in England, the 5 T20s will be a better indicator because the bounce and stuff will be a bit more true, right? And it'll be more in Australia, but still that'll give you a bit of an indicator. I think here, if you're struggling with the short wave, Shreyas Iyer is struggling getting out to bouncers here. That's it, man. He's not going in that on the plane. It's because in Australia it's going to bounce properly. Ashish is saying left-right combo. Pant can do damage in first 6. Good for confidence as well. It's an experiment, just like Rohit Sharma. I think they already experimented with Pant and it didn't work. That's why they're going with that. And Ishan Kishan is your opener. He's your left-handed. Gaikwad is your right-handed. Back them and then see how it goes, right?
Yeah, you have 5 games to go for it.
And Pant, he's shown that number 4, number 5 is his position. In terms of he can finish games, but also give him that responsibility to work in innings as well, right? And you never know. 2 early wickets, it's like he's opening.
So, absolutely, you never really know.
And he can always try to switch, come one down as well if needed. If Ishan Kishan gets out, send Pant one down. I mean, send himself one down. And also, like Don mentioned, I think Pant is also captain now. Too much responsibility. He's opening the batting, he's keeping, and he's thinking like we already saw what happened with KL Rahul. You don't want to put that pressure on that kid. Like I think let him bat where he's comfortable.
I think one other thing that we just have to quickly talk about, it's going to be at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. We've known Delhi to be in the past be a very slowish kind of track. So if that's the way to go, maybe they might go with an extra spinner. Well, they don't have Kuldeep, so never mind.
They don't have Kuldeep, but you go Akshar Patel and Chahal, and maybe you could try. They don't have
Bishnoi maybe, but that's an option.
Bishnoi, man, I would really try him because if you were playing the third spinner, I think he's been good. He's been good.
Yeah, I mean, just I think Bhuvi and Harshal pick themselves, but I think Avish Khan, if you want to just try to maybe bring in a little bit more spin, because Delhi is known to have slightly slowish kind of tracks. So.
Yeah, Ashish Singh would love to have seen Kulcha back. Man, I'm really depressed not to see Kuldeep Yadav. I've been a big fan of him recently. I've been speaking to him as well, and he was really looking forward to it. And he's mentally in the right space. I think it did impact him when he was not in form and everything, but right now mentally he's in the right space. He's enjoying his cricket. He's enjoying his football as well, and he's playing really well. He's getting the ball to drift, getting to turn. Just unlucky. Kuldeep backing you for World Cup. Yeah, we're backing him, man.
Of
I
course,
think
always backing Kuldeep for it.
big boundaries always help leg spinners, right? And I think India have missed a trick. They went with the mystery spinners and everything in Dubai. But also, you
The
have to remember, Dubai
only
were all freaking due,
Yeah,
man.
the only problem with this is Australian pitches will be conducive to space, so you'll probably be playing either of Kulcha. You won't be playing
Yeah,
both.
because the thing is, then you need a spinner who can bat.
Yeah, exactly. So will there be Akshar Patel? Who we don't know, but that's
Jadeja
probably
will
the
be the guy. But
Jandu.
I was listening to a few other podcasts, and they were saying that Jadeja actually it's because he contributes with the bat he's in the team. If you look at his figures in T20 cricket, it's below average, bro. In the last couple
Few
years,
years, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's been below average. And someone was actually saying that I forgot who, man, but he was saying that. I think Nikhil Naz from India Today. He was saying that Ashwin should just pad up and practice his batting, because if he can start hitting runs, or any like Washington Sundar, if they can start hitting runs, they're gonna get a spot, because Jadeja is not in the team was bowling. You would pick Kuldeep or Chahal any day over him just based on bowling.
Yeah, and Akshar Patel is also that up there. If he
Up
can
there, yeah.
improve his batting a little bit, I think he has
Yeah.
an opportunity.
Jadeja is there as a batting all rounder. It looks like, man, over the
I
last.
think I think Jadeja and Hardik will be competing for a position, and then I think someone like
Yeah.
Akshar, Ashwin, and these guys will probably competing for that number 7, number 8
Yeah.
role.
And I'm saying particularly in white ball. In red ball, Jadeja is the bowler.
Yeah.
Of course, he's batting amazing as well. But I think in white ball, he's more of a batsman. And you see that even in Chennai, Dhoni gets rid of him after 2 overs. He doesn't bowl his quota every single time.
Yeah, true. We'll have to see how that goes.
Any last thoughts, Don?
No, I think we're already starting to think a lot about the World Cup, but I think in the perspective of tomorrow, I think it's a good chance for someone like we spoke about Ishan Kishan, Rituraj, and for someone like a Hardik and Dinesh Karthik to really cement that. Hardik, I think, is already cemented, but Dinesh Karthik, he's still not 100% certainty, but I think a few good games from him, and he'll probably make that squad,
Yeah,
that 11.
Ashish Singh, Umran Riser, 163 kilometers per hour. Don told me this just in the beginning of the podcast. I didn't know about it. 163 in the nets. Wow, man, this guy is wild. He's like a Ferrari. He's gonna just give him the ball, man. But I think he needs adequate rest as well. So don't play him every game. But whenever he gets, I don't think he's going to play the first 2-3 games. But if you see the series, give him a chance. He's in fastest bowler Indian. What a feeling, yeah, man. It's outstanding.
Always
Finally,
good.
we can back who's zip, man, who's coming in and he's bowling really fast.
Yeah, but I think we should not get carried away. I think we should really give him that kind of that.
I think, yeah, but with me, I get carried away anytime, bro.
Yeah, especially if it's an Indian player that's
The
kind
Indian
of.
player, he plays for Sunrisers and he was 160. What do you want me to do?
He
But
really
again,
is.
nurturing the guy, wrapping him cotton wool, that's going to be key. India should just hire Dale Steyn, man, as the bowling coach and just keep him there, because he understands the body, he understands exactly what it takes, and Dale Steyn had that career as well, 400 Test wickets. So I think it's not just because he's like they already worked together. He understands what true pace is. But just for you guys, I'll hit sixes to him as well. That's confidence. I think, if he's bowling like one step, those like slower balls, anyway, you can hit a 6. But 160, you're not going to see it, bro. 160, you're not going to see it. What we face over here is like 90 kilometers per hour, man. 160 is like, whoa. We won't even see the ball. How are you going to touch it right down? 160, man.
You can't see it, bro.
All due respect, like to anybody, like 160, you can't see. They were struggling. Maxwell, Russell was struggling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 145, 150, they were struggling. 160 is a whole
thing. Ashish hits him for 6s. I don't know what we're doing here. We should be his entourage and we should be sitting in a 5-star hotel right now, and we should be his agents just counting cash.
Ashish, calling for agency requirements if needed. Please give me a call. You have my phone number.
You have a HR manager, you have PR manager, you have everything ready.
Let's go, Ashish.
Let's go. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Don, also the other international games are going on, so we'll review those as well. Like we already talked about the West Indies, Pakistan, and the Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, Australia, and then there's the T20 blast is amazing, man. Today, shout out to Cadmore and Tim David; those were spectacular innings. Especially Cadmore. Vinay was asking me, "Is he gonna get sold in the auction?" I'm like, "Who the hell is this guy? He's not going anywhere, man." Because Vinay saw him in the T10. But yeah, I take my words back, bro. This guy is a batsman, man. He's middling everything. Make sure you guys watch the highlights. I will send it to whoever. Ashish, I'll send it to you. Don, I'll send it to you. But watch the highlights of today's game. It was an outstanding game between Lancashire and Yorkshire. Ashish Singh, he takes checks, no cash.
Yeah, bro, don't worry. All that I'll take care of.
Yeah, I'm done. Hopefully, yeah, we can close down this channel and then just count cash, bro, from now on.
No, no, we'll keep this channel running for fun, and then we'll
Yeah,
do cash checking also. Then we'll
yeah.
talk about Ashish.
Get used
We'll
to driving Lamborghinis and stuff, bro. Like,
let's
I'm
go.
gonna sell my Hyundai and just it's all about the Lamborghini life, man. Escalade with Lamborghini doors.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
All right, man. Ashish, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. It was a good chat. And Don, I will catch you hopefully after tomorrow's game. Enjoy the game and good to see India back in the blue. And yeah, hoping for an exciting game.
Take care, sir.
Take care, man.